Hello and welcome. You're watching FII. I am Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor. Today on the program, we talk about energy drinks. What excess use and consumption of energy drinks can do to you. What exactly is inside your energy drinks? Is it harmful? What will it do to your body and your mind? And are youngsters more at risk? Why do sportsmen endorse it? Why do we have big celebrities endorsing it as well? Is it actually just caffeine? Is it more sugar content? What exactly is that? Let's decode in our explainer. First up, let's tell you what exactly makes your energy drinks really. Now, these energy drinks really, they derive energy out of glucose. Added ingredients which basically end up, as the name rightly says, boosting your energy levels, right? So it has ingredients like caffeine, it has taurine, ginseng, I hope I'm calling and pronouncing them correctly over there, and then it has lots and lots of sugar. You may actually exceed the maximum amount of added sugar which is recommended for an adult in an entire day, sometimes in just one single drink. That's the amount of sugar there is, and that's why you get that kick, that instant boost that you feel. So then we looked at research and found out, okay, what exactly happens and what can actually happen if you consume your energy drinks in large amounts. And then the results that we got are really shocking. It may cause serious heart and blood vessel problems. It may harm kids still developing cardiovascular and nervous systems. It can lead to problems like anxiety, sleep problems, digestive problems, dehydration as well. Guarana, which is a commonly added energy drink as well, a component that is added there. Their drinks contain caffeine as well, like we've already talked about. And then what's worse is this lethal mix and a cocktail of alcohol along with caffeinated drinks. So a lot of these drinks, very popular, known sort of cocktails available everywhere you go, not recommended. Because what happens when you mix your alcohol with these energy drinks is that you feel less intoxicated, but your motor coordination and reaction time may be just as impaired. So it's a dangerous thing. Then we looked at next on the neurological and psychological impact of having excess energy drink consumption as well. Self-destructive behavior is being seen in people who consume it without any hold. Insomnia seen as well in people who consume it without any control. Aggressive behavior has been noticed in kids. Stress has been seen, anxiety, depressive symptoms as well in kids and also in adults. We looked effectively at the cardiovascular impact of energy drinks on your body. It increases your blood pressure. It increases your heart rate as well. That's why in extreme cases, even strokes are talked about in people who consume too many energy drinks. Also, it can have impact not just on your heart, but on your dental system, on your renal system, even on your metabolism. It can lead to you being overweight, obesity as well, risk of type 2 diabetes, this is said to be one of the reasons for it, dental decay, renal microvascular damage as well, that is the blood flow in and flow out. The kidneys get affected, it may cause kidney damage and failure as well. Accelerated progression of chronic kidney diseases also can be reached out, can happen because of more consumption of energy drinks. And then, you know, next point is going to be very interesting, because why does one consume an energy drink? Why do you reach out for one? You know, as the name suggests, it gives you an instant boost of energy. But it is this exact kick that it will take away from your life if you keep consuming it in the long run. You will feel more tired, more fatigued, more headaches, more stomach aches, more irritation if you in some way or the other become dependent, as they say, on energy drinks every time you want to feel happy or get an instant boost as well. We also looked at impact it has on kids in particular and what it does to kids when they consume too much of energy drinks. Caffeine overdose, it stimulates chemicals as well. It may harm kids still developing, especially in their cardiovascular nervous system, like I talked about earlier as well. In children, the adverse symptoms are often even more extreme than in adults because their organs are still developing. There are cases which have been noticed of seizure, of stroke in kids. Death is very rare, but it has been noted. And there is, when it comes to amounts that you can consume, when it comes to kids, there is no safe amount of energy drinks that kids can actually consume. And all of this is being talked about in research papers, by scientists, by governments now, and how they are looking at energy drinks. So having understood that, let's break it open to our panel. Joining us on the program today is Dr. Arun Gupta. He is Senior Pediatric at Fortis Hospital, Shalimar Bagh. Thank you so much for your time, Doc. Also with us is Manisha Chopra, nutritionist. We'll try and talk to her about what are the alternatives really on how to go about with this. We've got Sandeep Mishra with us. Dr. Sandeep Mishra, Senior Professor, Cardiology at AIIMS. And we also have Dr. Sandeep Vora. He is a de-addiction specialist and a neuropsychiatrist as well at the Indraprastha Apollo Hospital. Dr. Gupta, let me begin with you. So, having understood that excess amount, of course, is harmful, is there an amount that is safe for adults?
Actually, when you go through the literature and go through the regulations which have been propagated in India, what they say ki up to 145 milligrams of caffeine in a liter. If it is beyond that, it's not safe. It has to be like very specifically.
Could you repeat that amount, sir, please?
The amount below 145 milligrams per liter is supposed to be safe, but if it is more than 145 milligrams per liter, then specifically manufacturer has to mention on the bottle that it's a caffeinated beverage, and 300 milligrams per liter, more than that is not allowed. But the strange thing, I was just looking through at a bottle, I cannot display it because the brand name is there.
Exactly.
Now it has shown the content. Now content shows the 75 milligram per 250 ml. So that is 300 milligrams per liter within specific limits. But the main thing is that everything is written in blue, but the red color they have mentioned on the top of the bottle, it says caffeinated beverages, then the brand name, then is written strangely, it is appreciated worldwide by top athletes, busy professionals, university students, and travelers on long journey. Now, having law is one thing and circumventing that law by the other means is something different. India has so many laws, but where's the will and the power to implement those laws? So now every bottle, this bottle is openly advocating for university students, which is very, very dangerous.
But that's not the only propagation, Doc, and I'll come back to you on this, but I want to talk about the science first. We'll come back to regulations in the second part of the program as well. Let me go to Dr. Mishra from AIIMS over there. Then Dr. Mishra, same question to you. Firstly, how much do you think is permissible? And I'm talking about cans here because nobody can calculate really on how many grams of caffeine you've had an entire day. To be very practical about it, you consume 1 can or you consume 2 cans. Some people are addicted. Every time they have to be somewhere and they feel they have an important meeting coming up, they quickly down a can thinking that I'm going to feel good about it and I'll be more alert. The same thing happens with coffee, but that's a separate episode, I believe. But what is your opinion happens to your mind and your body when you consume excess amount of energy drinks, or you become in some way or the other dependent on them?
So coming to children first, let us say less than 17 or 18 years of age, no energy drink is permissible. So American Association of Pediatrics clearly says that not one single energy drink is permissible in that age group. Above that, you can have 3 cups of coffee per day, which is safe.
Which is for adults. 3 cups for adults.
For adults, yeah. For children, as I said, less than 100 milligram, which means less than 1 cup of coffee. So basically, no energy drink is permissible.
Not a drop for the kids. For elders, you're saying 3 cups of coffee that translates into
3 cans generally. But although there are some cans, I have to say that the content of caffeine varies between different brands.
Right. And so it's difficult, you're saying, to put a number on how many you can have under a safe limit, because every energy drink will have a different composition of how much caffeine they've put or how much sugar they've put.
Yeah, so basically, I would say generally less than 3 cans or 3 cans per day. But taking a single can on a long-term basis every day has also shown problems. So all I want to say is that do not take more than 2 cans at one time and try not to take daily these energy drinks.
Okay, let me go to Dr. Vora next. Dr. Vora, then what is the mental impact? I was so fascinated when this research popped up on us because it talks about how it leads to anxiety. It talks about how you get dependent on it as well. And it can lead to several mental issues, exactly what people want to fight. That's why they consume it.
See, let's see how students started. They get a feeling, they feel that they can focus well, and that is how they start taking it, either because they want to focus on their studies, or it's because of peer group pressure. They say that, okay, one person has taken energy drink and the other person starts taking. So initially you will have, in the initial phase, you will have better focus, and it might decrease your anxiety, say for in first 1 cup or 1 can. But gradually what happens that people make it a habit. And then it changes your lifestyle, that you don't want to sleep and you want to study. So let me take 1 energy drink, 2 energy drink, 3 energy drink, which becomes a vicious cycle, and it becomes as addicting as any other intoxicant. And what happens that it leads to then when you take it more, your sleep cycle gets disrupted, and then it results in anxiety, depression, irritability. You can have intoxication effects, or you can have withdrawal effects. So it complicates your whole life, and you get hooked onto it. And we do get people who are addicted to energy drinks. And few months back, before pandemic, I got a patient who was taking 35 energy drinks per day. In very solid condition, he was brought. And ultimately, I saw it had been a pattern in him since his college days, and he was totally depressed and was in a very bad mental state. So it's very important for youngsters to understand that you cannot go overboard. Once in a while you can take it, but it is as addicting as any other.
I get what you're saying then, Dr. Vora, but we see a lot of, not to sort of call out anybody here, but we see a lot of sportsmen consume energy drinks right in the middle of their match or every time there's tea time. So are you saying if this is really so bad, the question I'm going to be asked and people are going to, youngsters especially, going to say is that, well, if so-and-so cricketer, so-and-so badminton player, so-and-so tennis player can drink it, then what's the harm?
They balance it with their nutrition, regular exercise and good sleep. So that the youngsters don't see that. So if for a short span, it can be used, but you have to focus it with your exercise, daily exercise, nutrition in a very minute manner. And the equilibrium which a sportsman has or an athlete has is very different than a normal person or a student who leads a sedentary lifestyle. So that is the reason it will affect very differently to an individual who is leading a sedentary lifestyle and somebody who is very active or very energetic.
Talking about nutrition, let me bring in Manisha Chopra over there. Manisha, then I know often it's said, you know, water is the best energy drink, right? We've heard this from our parents, mothers especially, always saying don't depend on anything else, just have a glass of water. Mostly it's your body telling you you are thirsty, and that's what you ignore and you get irritable next. I understand that, but tell us, are there sort of alternates then? If you are getting a little anxious, firstly treat that, but if you're feeling a little down and out and you need an instant boost, is there a safe way to do this as well?
Yeah, see, there are many safe ways. If we go as a nutritional point of view, there are many safe ways you go. So in food also there are many safe ways, like we have peanut butters, we have bananas, we have lemon water with honey. We can add cinnamon into it. So cinnamon again plays a role in which the metabolic rate goes high. So in the end, what we are doing, we are just taking our metabolic rate high. So if you're having half teaspoon of cinnamon with the banana, your pre-workout work is done. So we just have to control what we are eating before our workout. So if we are taking it just for a workout, or if we are taking it just before we are studying, so have an apple, have with a peanut butter half teaspoon, or a banana with a half teaspoon of peanut butter, or a cinnamon added to it. It is going to work out the same way. Or you can have ginseng tea, or you can have a ginger tea. It's just the amount of the energy rush you need. The energy rush does not need to come with a Red Bull. it can come out with cinnamon as well. It's just the same thing, the ginseng, the ginger, the, as you said, guarana. So these are all plants, you know, so you can take it from there and you can have it and consume your energy drinks from there.
All right, a banana and with some cinnamon on top of it with some tea is a great booster. That's some good tip to keep. Thanks for that, Manisha. Let's slip into a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the other aspect really of the story, which is about regulation and how much and is this time now really that the government actually wakes up and updates its regulation even when it comes to energy drinks. That's coming up on the other side. Welcome back. We're talking about energy drinks on this episode of FYI. Let me go back to Arun Gupta. Arun Gupta, Dr. Gupta, just to the point that you made, that a lot of these disclosures are not made. If made, then they come along with claims. They might not be true. You're suggesting there is a policy updation required at this point about what exactly these energy drinks do to you. There are, again, I don't want to name a particular brand here, but very openly we see cricketers, we see sportsmen constantly using, and then there's this aspirational value that comes to these energy drinks because of that.
I think, as you rightly said, I think first of all, let us stop looking at these sportsmen, even the film stars, as role models. Finally, the movie stars, they do only thing for the money. And even I think some of the sportsmen are promoting
not all,
it, not right.
I don't want to say they're all like that.
But I clearly remember a lot of players during the tennis match, they eat banana. So that can be one of the good signs, good message to the people. And I was just looking at a pack of this, one of the brand of energy drink. One of the strange thing I found, it's clearly said is being appreciated by athletes and the university students, which is very, very wrong, just to promote the people. Secondly, this pack says that is specially priced pack. If you buy 4 or 5 pack, there is a special price. So they are promoting that they can buy 2 or 3 or 4 rather than 1 pack. And strangely, the whole bottle, the whole can doesn't have even a single health hazard mentioned anywhere. And that it's not specified anywhere that it should be used above the particular age group. So these are 4 things which I could come up. I think the legislation has to be very, very strict and that has to be implemented. Age has to be mentioned. These things have to be removed, which promote it. Multi-pack should not be sold. And health hazard should be clearly printed.
It should be clearly mentioned. Let me come to you, Manisha. You gave us some quick tips when it comes to banana, cinnamon and tea. What else can people who are training, and especially kids who are up till late, can do when they're preparing for a big examination or a big game coming up? Do you have some alternatives that they can replace their energy drinks with?
See, first of all, the kids are, I would just, this is off the topic, but they are just under a lot of peer pressure nowadays, because there is so much in the news and there is so much in the media that they should have these energy drinks. So just as parents, it is our moral duty to not keep these things at home. If you are having these things, how can you tell your children not to have it?
But you can't stop them from buying. We're talking about teenagers over here. What they buy once they're not at home is in nobody's control.
You have to set some rules down.
Yeah, so what can you replace it with? Say today somebody is going for their practice match. Instead of carrying that 1 bottle of an energy drink or picking it up from a store somewhere, would you rather have them carry?
They can have 1 shot of espresso coffee. They can have matcha coffee. They can have a green tea shot. See, what is energy drinks? They're all accumulation of caffeine only. So you cannot have 3 or 30 cups of coffee in one time. It's impossible, right? So even if you're having a shot, a shot of an espresso, just have 1 shot of espresso before hitting the gym or before hitting the school or whatever. It is going to give you that energy. Yes, it is going to give you that energy.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us on this very fascinating discussion. We should actually do a program on sugar as well, on what excess use of sugar is actually doing to people. And that's something that will be fascinating to keep a tap on as well. But that's it. That's all the time we have on the program today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.